Hello and welcome to the College Rugby Show live here from Houston, Texas, SaberCat Stadium. We got men's natties, boys and girls. We are starting with men's D1AA National Championship today. Bowling Green, Tennessee. I'm joined by Zach Lanning, Darian Lovelace. As always, guys, we're live in Houston. Men's natties. Bowling Green, Zach, tell us a little bit about what to expect here from the Falcons.
Absolutely, Pat. I mean, for Bowling Green, the power is in the pack, okay? There's plenty of Midwestern beef in that front row, and they know how to use it. They're great at creating space, retaining possession, and making it easy for the backs out wide. I will have to say, though, Pat, for Bowling Green, last year's loss here in Houston, the exact same field, looms pretty large, all right? They lost to another SEC team in Kentucky, 57-14. Do they have the different tools in the tool belt this year to make a different outcome? We'll have to find out.
And the Vols, Darian, tell us a little bit about them.
We saw all kinds of fans out in the parking lot, but Tennessee did roll deep. They're on the Rocky Top, and they're trying to bring their first national championship to the home sweet home. I'm really excited to see them. My only qualm, I think, is just going to come from, can Tennessee find the right time to strike and not make it tiresome for themselves? Bowling Green's got an engine, and they're really going to have to bring a lot of power at the right time.
Let's take a little bit of deeper dive here on how these teams got here in their season, Zach. Bowling Green, they took a couple of detours, not exactly a smooth road to Houston. Let's dive in a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, they were here last year, like we said, but this year a few bumps in the road, a little bit of a tough time in the regular season. They, you can see there their stats. They scored a decent amount. They played great defense, but they had trouble keeping up pace with teams like Ohio State, who they lost to, and they lost to conference rival Louisville twice, which is tough for them to handle. I think that's a tough loss to shoulder. But they've turned it on at exactly the right time here. They came into regionals, looked like a completely different team in their first round matchup against Virginia Tech, a heavily favored Hokies team. They blew them off the pitch, okay, to secure that regional final matchup against Louisville, the rubber match. They came back and won that one in overtime. Dramatic finish here to punch their ticket to Houston.
And who are some of the players to watch here for this BG side?
Right, we talk about that forward pack. You can't talk about them without talking about Philip Tracy. Okay, not always a forward. We'll say that he's got the dexterity, the dynamism to play in both the forward pack and the back line. No matter where he plays, he brings that trademark physicality and athleticism. He never goes backwards. You watch that today. He only goes down when he says it's time for him to go down to ground. So he's a great player. Also, Joseph Apel. Okay, the junior dynamic athlete at the fullback spot. When they do get it out wide in space, he is lightning in a bottle. All right, his boot is also helped the Falcons this postseason, especially in that Louisville game. So that'll really help them to be able to make those kicks. The conversions will be big.
Let's take a look at some of the other Falcons that will be joining those stars on the field today. The Bowling Green lineup, as we talked about, a fantastic pack. Great meat across the park. I saw a couple of these forwards. They packed their own pasta on the plane, brought it with them. They were eating in the elevator this morning. They take their carb loading seriously, Zach.
Absolutely. They need that energy, especially number 8, Evan Holderer, the aviation major. He is constantly taking flight when he has ball in hand, okay? So he needs that power for them. And the back line, the one they watch here is Hathaway on the wing, number 11. He's a first-year player. Can he hold up against those powerful weapons that Tennessee's going to roll out on defense? He's going to be a key player for the Falcons this week.
All right, Darian, talk to us about Tennessee. It's been nothing but clear skies and open roadways for them on the way to Houston.
And two players that really led the way for them is going to be the SRC champs. I mean, alone, I think that they had a lot to show for. We talked about how their competition was a little bit lesser than what Bowling Green had to experience, but, I mean, that's one thing that really showed out for Tennessee. Players to watch for them, though, are going to be Vincent Keller, right, the freshman, and he goes bonkers when he's got the ball in hand. He's going to be able to really show out and get some points on the board for Tennessee. And finally, Nate Rawls, the hooker, a bowling ball when he hits the line at pace. And one of the best things about him is the leader of the pack, but also the leader out in open field. He's going to have the tenacity and the work rate to really keep Tennessee in the thick of it and to be able to face pictures and adapt to that adversity.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other guys on the field here for the Volunteers. They are loaded throughout the lineup. Let's take a look at the Tennessee forwards. Also very strong up front. Funkhauser's fantastic at number 8. Who else are we looking out for here, Darian?
Take a look at the front row, and I really think, Zach, you mentioned it, Bowling Green has a really strong pack, but the front row is where the contest is going to happen. Bonifacio, Rawls, and then O'Connor, they're really going to bring that power that the scrum is going to need to dominate at set piece. And then for the back line, you'll take a look back there. Keller's going to lead from the front, even though he's going to be cleanup crew. O'Neal, the number 10, Brandon O'Neal, he is just incredible, that connective tissue. And O'Reilly is really going to bring the launch to the line every single time. And the last bit, though, that we've got to talk about, though, was Tennessee's road to get here. I mean, Tennessee had a near-perfect season, 10-0 for them, and only 40 points scored again. So we talk a lot about their creativity on attack, but what really is the difference maker is their defense and their work rate. We'll take a look at the road to get here for them. Sam Houston State was the one that they knocked out 20-0, a goose egg. Sam Houston got no points on the board. And then Texas A&M, we looked at them a little bit, but 35 points over top. You could kind of count them out of this conversation. Tennessee, the Big Orange, I mean, what an incredible season for them.
Oh, you mentioned that they might have had easier competition only in the postseason because they had the Lone Star 2 teams, right? That's the new conference in the competition. But in the regular season, the SEC might be the cream of the crop in D1 AA, producing the last 2 national champs, and they came out of that thing unscathed. Tennessee looking really, really good here this weekend. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's get bold. Let's make some picks. Zach, who do you like? Who do you pick in here in the Orange Bowl?
Both these teams have burned me this season on picks. I picked against both of them, but I'm going to take Tennessee in this one for sure.
All right, Tennessee, Terry, and we know who.
Shout out to Lisa O'Donnell, Tennessee all the way.
All right, I'm going to take Bowling Green. I'm going to take the Fighting Mazzarellas. I think there's magic in them this year. The forwards, they're big. All right, that's it, guys. We've talked it to death. Now we're going to throw it to the national anthem, and then finally the D1 AA National Championship game.
Before we get to the match, please rise in your caps and remove your caps for the national anthem.
All right, here we go. Ben Holden, Mike Petrie, and Tyler Dorge with you for the call of the 1AA National Championship. A pleasure and an honor to be with you. There's our referee in the middle today, Pierre Constantine, will be assisted as ARs, Mikey Rodzinski and Andy Cooper. I beg your pardon, that is the list. And Chris Micheletti. We do have a TMO here for this match, for these championship matches, and that is our crew today. Down to pitch level we go. Let's check in with Tyler for the first time here today.
Welcome back, everyone. It is Championship Saturday, and we're going to kick it off with number 7 Bowling Green versus number 1 Tennessee. Bowling Green is going to be looking for redemption after being the runner-up in the 2024 National Championship, while Tennessee is going to be looking to retain their undefeated season and their number 1 rank with adding a national title to what's already been an incredible season. Who will lift the trophy in the end? Only 80 minutes will tell. Guys, let's get to it.
Thanks so much, Tyler. We'll be checking in with Tyler throughout the match here today. And Mike, you and I last week, we saw firsthand what Bowling Green did in that dramatic 5-point win, 26-21 in overtime. And you listen to the crew on our college rugby show talking about the power of this Tennessee side. What do you feel will be the difference in this match today?
I think that game last week, we'll see how Bowling Green recovers. They played in the snow in Pennsylvania. They tracked back to Ohio. Then they tracked down south to the beautiful state of Texas. And Tennessee, like you say, coming off that undefeated season, I think this is going to be a big matchup for Bowling Green. They did a heavy lift last week. You said they went into overtime in that game. That was a big toll it would have taken on them physically. They've got to get a hot start here in this one, Ben.
Well, Bowling Green in their traditional brown and orange, and as Pat Clifton said, the Orange Bowl, in essence it is the Division I AA National Championship underway from Houston, and right away the ball comes down off the kick from Bowling Green into the hands of their hooker, Ben Young. Tennessee in the white and the orange hoops kits, and we are underway in this one. And another factor, as it was discussed too, Mike, getting so close last year was Bowling Green, losing in that championship to Kentucky 57-14. Kentucky had won the last two. We'll have a new champion this year. You look at Bowling Green, Mike. What did you take away from their match last week offensively? What did you like about them as they get a break here? This is a good way to start. Good ball put into the hands of Tracy up that far line, and Phil Tracy diving, and Tracy gets it down. And in the opening minute, Bowling Green strikes. One of their leaders, Tracy, scores the try good.
Ben, what an opening for Bowling Green. Just moments ago, I said they have to come out of the gates hot, and they do exactly that. They're up for it. They're out for redemption. After that runner-up finish last week, they had that big game to punch their ticket to Houston today. Look at that offload. What a pass that time and a break from John-Luke Weiler. And then Philip Tracy, I mean, he was excellent at number 6 for Bowling Green last weekend, and here he is again. I mean, look at the determination. Look at the power. Great hustle by Tennessee, but no stopping Philip Tracy that close to the line. Look at that outstretched arm. Outstanding. Look at the energy from Bowling Green as well. They're going to need that energy for the entire game. Ben, remember last week, it's worth noting, Bowling Green came out, and I believe they gave up a try early in the game. Is that right? Where they gave up that score within the first 90 seconds and then had to fight their way back into that game and won in overtime. So now they're on the other end of it, and they get to kick the conversion here.
They do. From distance, about 27 meters away. The look up from the ARs, and it is good. And the Falcons on top, 7-0 here. Phil Tracy had a chance to visit earlier in the week with Tony Mazzarella, their head coach, and he said this guy is the consummate rugby player. He's dedicated. He wants to play at the next level, Mike. He could have opportunities as we look back at the try from the back angle one more time.
And what a run, what an offload. And again, that's just a missed tackle by Tennessee very early on. Maybe some nervous jitters from the undefeated team. You come in with that number 1 seed, or at least the favorites in this game, and you got to imagine the pressure is on them a little bit. That's your number 7. That's Saharis that missed that tackle, unfortunately. Just took his feet out of it, lost his feet in the collision, and that allowed number 12, John-Luke Weiler, to slip through that tackle and go the distance to the try for Philip Tracy.
Well said by you, partner. This Tennessee side is an absolute wagon. They've yet to lose this season. They've scored 30 or more 11 times. Their record officially is 10-0, but they played a couple of other matches, so they can absolutely light it up. They're led by Scott Tungay, their head coach, who was at Kentucky for some time. Got the opportunity here at Tennessee, but they can absolutely get you. The one thing they have, Mike, in talking to Tungay yesterday, he said we've got balance. We're going to pound you up front, but we've got really good balance in our back line, so we'll see how that plays out here today. Their scrum half is Zach O'Reilly, a junior. He got that ball free from the base. Tennessee, the first time with possession here, of course. They didn't get the opening kick, and now they're inside of the 22 here, Mike. Penalty call on Bowling Green. Quick tap and go there from O'Reilly. They're 9. O'Reilly breaking toward the line, and he's a couple of meters shy. They pull it from the base. Trying to hammer this one in is Funkhauser. He's got 9 tries to lead their side in that department. Nathan Rawls has 8, their hookers, so they've got 2 guys up front. Bowling Green comes away with it. A turnover ball inside of the 5 from the Falcons, and they get a little bit of room as Safarella carried them out. Lower right of your screen, that sideline down there, the Bowling Green Falcons, oh so close last year, but got pounded in the final by Kentucky. Tennessee back with it now. Played on by Brendan O'Neill, their number 10. You hear the voice of Pierre Constantine again. Mikey Radzinski, Andy Cooper, the ARs. Here's Tennessee, good offload up that line. And the Volunteers diving. And the Volunteers are a kick away from getting this match level at 7. Not even 5 minutes in.
And this is the kind of game that everybody wants to see, man. And we don't know defense wins championships. We talk about that. But how about 2 scores in the opening 5 minutes of the game? What a defensive stand early on from Bowling Green, but then Tennessee, look at these offloads. They're keeping their feet alive, just too good. If you're Bowling Green there, you make that tackle on number 10, Brendan O'Neill, you need to take him to ground because watch what happens. O'Neill gets through this half break. You've got to take him to deck. because he stays on his feet, stays alive, and he's the one that ends up scoring in the corner. So a couple mistakes there by Bowling Green. The first, they had a great turnover right in front of their post, but then they mistouch. That allows Tennessee to have another life to fight. They move the ball inside. They go down that short channel, and a nice play that time by Tennessee's number 10, Brendan O'Neill.
Sure was, and that's one thing that Scott Tungay told us. He said, I love the space game. We want to get guys out there. We've got great skill. This one off the post, but it goes through. So a fortunate bounce there, and as Darian and the crew on the set mentioned, Tennessee with a great following and a great turnout. And if this is any indication, Mike Pentry, this might be the first of 30 in this one. Who knows? Here's a look back.
And here it is again. There's that offload, and he stays alive on his feet to get that pass back inside. Again, he's got to go to deck. You can't let bodies through on those half breaks. Tennessee actually could have made their life a lot easier. They were picking and driving with their forward pack right in front of the post. They had an opportunity to just dot that ball right in the corner of the goalpost pad. That's something that I think all these teams need to be hyper aware of, is use that goalpost pad to your advantage. But how about another kickoff here from Bowling Green, that they're just making life tough for Tennessee off these kickoffs.
Yeah, one thing the Falcons pride themselves on, they talk about it all the time. They talk about focus and effort. It sounds simple, but that's really what Tony Mazzarella and his staff, they built this program on, are those two key points, Mike.
No hands. Perfect.
Work back here now, Tennessee. They'll play a little territory here with a booming kick. Beautiful kick, and the Falcons up against their own line. Trying to get a little bit of space, and they do. Stepping on the gas. Got to be careful that line. Good offload there to stay alive on this passage. Ball put into the hands of Owen Slimmer, the senior. One of many Medina High School products on this Bowling Green side. Bowling Green, Watkins Memorial. Those are the two schools they pulled a majority of their players from in the great rugby state of Ohio. Zach Shapila with a carry there. He's a grad student. There's 3 of those on this Bowling Green roster, guys that wanted to come back, wanted to have another shot at winning the championship, and here they are. Griffin Wilson, he's a senior. Tennessee trying to come up with a ball in there. They're unable to, though, this time.
Bowling Green's paying a lot of phases here out of their own end, and that's where you got to be careful. You turn that ball over in that situation. We may come back for a penalty.
You look serious?
Yep.
I'm coming back on that. Time is off.
So we got an injured Falcon down there. That's Zach Shapila,
Okay.
one of those grad students. Here's a look back, Mike.
Wait.
Oof.
And here's a look. This is, again, Bowling Green playing a lot of phases out of their own end. Remember, this started with a kick receipt inside their 22. They had a nice little half break up this near touchline off our screen. They looked really good. Their shape looks good. They were hitting their forward runners, throwing those little short passes, and then one phase too many. Sometimes you got to be really careful. Like, even if your shape looks good, you still got to steady the ship. You still got to play a little bit of territory. Instead, Bowling Green trying to just take Tennessee down the length of the field, and that's where you got to be careful. You end up with some tired bodies, and you end up potentially turning it over. But we'll see what the call ends up being here. It looks like it's going to go in Bowling Green's favor, though. So that turnover that we said for Tennessee was ultimately not to be, as you hope that Shapila is okay as he hobbles off the field in this national championship game.
See that brace heavily on his left leg already. He is a 6'5", 230-pound grad student, and that's where it happened there. You see him get bent back, and my goodness, just a unfortunate thing. And I'm sure, Mike, you played in the highest level of matches in this sport. It's going to take an awful lot to get him out. And Harvey Harris comes in. What an impact the big man had last week, 6'6" and 215, as they get Shapila off, and the trainers will go to work on him.
Time on. Wait. Tackle was made. You're not releasing, gripping the ball.
So there's the word from Pierre Constantine, our referee here today. Penalty for not releasing on Tennessee. So the Falcons will go to work here with the kick to try to set them up here.
And that's a great territory game that time from Bowling Green, putting themselves in Tennessee's half. Now they can focus on possession. Now they can try to take Tennessee through the phases. Like I said, their shape has looked really good so far with ball in hand. They were just trying to play a little bit far from their own end. But this is the type of kick that puts them in a perfect position upfield, gives them an opportunity to stay in this attacking zone. So good start to this, good line out throw. Let's see what they do off this set piece.
First piece of set piece play we've seen from either side in this national championship here so far. Bowling Green struck in the opening minute. Try from Phil Tracy. Brendan O'Neill countered 4 minutes later on a beautiful play up the far touchline. Kick bounced through, and we're level at 7 here. Trying to cut his way through there is Jacob Capel, sophomore out of St. Ed's High School in Cleveland, a factory not only in rugby but in football and other sports as well. Harris the offload near the line, trying to get a little bit of breathing room over there. But a forward pass is called here by Constantine. It'll go to Tennessee.
You saw our touch judge there right away grab the front of their shirt as that ball was thrown flat near the sideline. Take a look. It was a really nice play by Bowling Green. They're doing a great job. Again, their shape looks good. The service from Griffin Wilson looks great as well. And that pass there, you can see right away, grabbing the mic on the shirt, turning the mic on, sending the signal in to the man in the middle, Pierre Constantine, and saying, yep, that was forward. So unfortunately, Bowling Green, they're just hitting some roadblocks in what they're trying to do on offense so far. But again, their shape looks really good. They've come out with intent. They scored very early on. You can see the energy from this side. They were looking really sharp so far, Ben.
Tennessee, a 35-10 win over Texas A&M last week. Penalty here that's against Bowling Green. 120-0 against Sam Houston State in the quarterfinal round. And here are the Vols, undefeated this season.
How about that, Ben? The penalty goes against Bowling Green, so the Tides have now turned. They'll be backpedaling down into their own end. But Tennessee misses touch. But that penalty against Bowling Green off that scrum, they were going forward. They just got to stay low in their drive as they push through those scrums.
Bowling Green 9-3 on the season, 9 up, 3 down. They've won their last 4. If you're not familiar, there is a Bowling Green in Kentucky too, but this is the Bowling Green out of the Mid-American Conference, not too far south of Toledo, Ohio, in the state of Ohio. Good carry here. That's heavy work there from Michael McGettigan, the 6', 195-pound senior. It's going to go over to Bowling Green.
That's great work from Bowling Green to keep that ball up off the ground. You heard our referee call the maul, and you saw all those brown and orange jerseys on scene to just hold that ball up. They were just going to get it stuck in there. Take a look. This could be dangerous. They're a little bit fractured. Bowling Green's line didn't really have a whole lot of integrity, but then look at this. Number 3, the power from Cody Luther just to hold that ball up. And then look at all those brown and orange jerseys on scene, and look at the orange and white jerseys. Not much added there from them. They're not really giving it any much of a dash. Someone tries at the very end there to give it a little bit of a shove, but they were just watching that pile. That's where if you're Tennessee, you've got to go in heavy, and you've got to try to knock that thing to the ground and get those brown and orange jerseys out of there as quickly as possible. But right now, Bowling Green, they're just showing that they're hungry. They really are. They're showing they're hungry. They're showing they want this. They're really putting this Tennessee side to the test right now.
Constantine talking to the front rows, and just to follow up on what you were saying about Cody Luther, he is a large man, 6'2" and 295. Tony Mazzarella told me earlier in the week, he said he's arguably the best defensive player they've ever had in their program. Tony's been there for 17 years. He played there in the mid to late 90s. So free kick here, tap and go. They'll go on the restart. Falcons trying to hurry, go fast. Good carry. They get over halfway. Down to ground goes their number 8. That's Evan Holderer.
Anybody's good for you, Andy?
Another big bruising run there from Colton Crabiel, one of those Medina High School products. Here's Ben Young, the hooker, another Medina product. Good movement, good job slipping through there, but a good tackle to save that play from going any further.
Knock on is brown, and then it's knock on by white. Come back here.
And Ben, that is so unlucky for Bowling Green. They are just looking so sharp. Look, they're finding seams. What they're doing is they're getting through that first collision when they're carrying the ball. They're getting through that first point of contact. Look at this here. Good little sidestep. Just slips a little bit and then tries to throw that offload. So they're trying. They're throwing the kitchen sink right now at Tennessee. Tennessee just not launching off their line. They're not winning that first point of collision. Bowling Green doing an outstanding job, and what I would say is really working to their advantage right now is they're getting quick ball at the breakdown. They are just really getting rapid ball. It's really well presented for their 9, Griffin Wilson, who's providing great service outside, and it's allowing them to really get some rhythm in their attack.
Okay. Time is off. Are you good for? Okay, take a break. Get the water in if you want. I want both front rows, please. Yeah, water in. I have a chat. If the 4 is good. 4, are you good? Good. Front row, please. Both front rows. I told you before the game, there's nothing better than the quick scrum, okay? You need to fix that. It's on both sides. I don't have the stability I want, okay? If you want me to increase the escalation of free kicks, penalty, and 2-yard card, I'm gonna do it. Next scrum, I want the stability on both sides and a clean ball. Good? Thank you.
So there's the law being set down, Mike, by Pierre Constantine there talking to these guys.
You good, Andy? Stability. Both sides. Stability, please.
I'm trying to,
Yeah, that's on me.
Bowling Green, a win away from the national championship last year. Tennessee.
Keep it square. Keep it tight.
Scott Tungay now leading their side.
Coach!
Undefeated, trying to cap it off with a natty here today in Houston.
Set!
Ready.
Watch the 3 whites. Yeah, boys, like.
O'Reilly from the back now, the Volunteers.
Everyone is onside there.
Another strong kick, forcing Bowling Green back, putting a little bit of pressure on him, but Joey Apel, the junior, sends it right back to the Vols. Vincent Keller, they call him Vinsanity, and for good reason. Look at this kick. 106 points for this freshman for Tennessee. I mean, what a season he's having, and what a job they're getting it down the pitch, Mike.
And they're trying to play this territory game. You can see from the flags and the tri-zone there, it's at their backs a little bit, so they're trying to they have the ball, they're trying to get upfield. They've been playing so much defense recently. There's a picture of it. You can see it's looking like it's blown into that tri-zone. And look at the size of those end goals, though, as well. So one thing I would say, when you play in this stadium in Houston, there are enormous end goals. It's worth it to try to put that ball downfield and just see what happens sometimes. There's so much space behind there. We've seen plenty of teams benefit from those huge in-goal areas. But that time, Bowling Green right on scene, and they kick this one from the goal line, drop out, and it bounces out of bounds. So not a bad result from Bowling Green. They get good territory on that, into the wind as well.
Watch.
Yeah, the wind gusting up to around 15 degrees now. 76 degrees right now down in Houston, Texas.
Andy, I give you the...
Little different from the snow
here for the 1AA National Championship match. Nathan Rawls. Throw goes deep, comes down into the hands of the Falcons. Phil Tracy. Bowling Green looking to get it back there, looking in the direction of Wilson, but it's mishandled and turned over.
And Bowling Green again, just a couple of handling errors. We saw one earlier on off that offload from the base of the deck. And then here, this overthrow by Tennessee. That's the type of set-piece move from Tennessee. It's the first one they've seen in this game at a line-out situation. They've got to bring that one down in attacking territory. But Bowling Green there, moving it to the outside, just a little bit too far in front. That pass from the midfield out to Griffin Wilson, finding himself on the wing out there, Ben. That's a unfamiliar place, I'm sure, for a number 9 in the middle of that back line. But as it was, it gets a little bit in front of him. And so we scrum to Tennessee.
Yeah, the senior 5'10" and 145, a Watkins Memorial High School product. Here's Tennessee going to work now from this scrum. Again, this Volunteer side can put up points with the best of them in college rugby. And that's a turnover going against them here, though. The Falcons get it back here in the 18th minute.
Outstanding job that time from Bowling Green. You can see what Tennessee was trying to do off the base of that scrum. They got the ball out pretty quickly into their back line. They brought in their blindside winger in that second layer of defense, but they were just running a little bit too far across field. They weren't holding that Bowling Green defense in front of them. There were no runners going through the midfield that were pinning that Bowling Green defense to try to create the space on the outside. So they were trying to get around them, and they were trying to use some of their speed by bringing some of their outside backs into that wide channel. Here's another look at it. So take a look at this. They're going to throw some switches back inside. There's one. They're going to go out the back there. But the reality is they had one runner. If they had just given the ball to their 13 straight, it looked like Bowling Green could have been in trouble there, but as it is, Tennessee tries to play out into that wide channel and ends up turning that ball over.
Here come the Falcons now. 18 minutes into a 7-7 national championship showdown. Tennessee, the orange and white kits, Bowling Green with possession here in the brown and orange that is Bowling Green. Crabio had the carry there. To ground he went. Here's big Cody Luther. 6'2" and 295, as I mentioned. He is a mountain of a man. And as the guys and Darian talked about in the pregame, that's a massive part of this Bowling Green side and what Tony Mazzarella and he and his staff, Kyle Sikora, Brad Stott, Austin Morris, have to work with.
Last foot, retrieve. You're good there.
Now Bowling Green on the good side of the pitch here. Crabio to carry, the senior.
Watch number 6 is always, I think, going up.
Tennessee cutting off that thought that the ball carrier had. Looked like he wanted to play it back into the ground, and Capo went.
High tackle. Advantage. Number 7, White, high tackle. Thank you, Andy.
So you hear our referee, Constantine, advantage for a high tackle on Zaharis for Tennessee that Bowling Green's playing with here. And we'll reset.
Bowling Green kicks that advantage away. They may have been trying to set up for a 50-22, try to advance themselves upfield a little bit, but here it is. You're right, Ben. That blitz outside from Tennessee forces number 10, Jacob Capel, to just tuck and run into that defensive line. And Bowling Green, the beneficiary there of a high tackle. So there's the breakdown there. They have the advantage. They're right around midfield. They might have dropped into the pocket there to try to get a 50-22 out of that play because they had the advantage, but as it is, they're coming back. And again, they're playing into that win. You can see how strong it is from the middle of the field.
They get it back here, though, Mike. 3 penalties on each side to this point in the match. Falcons inside of the attacking 22 of Tennessee, Griffin Wilson. Played out of there by Phil Tracy. Evan Holderer, another key piece in this forward group for Bowling Green. Here's the big man, Harvey Harris. 6'6" and 215 the senior is. Wilson. Ralph Murr's got to be careful here. The Tennessee players each had a leg. They let him go to ground.
Last foot, White, step back, White. There you go. Use it, bro.
Wilson frees it.
Okay, that's for there.
Mike holds the carry. 7 apiece here. Bowling Green trying to get the lead back that they had for 4 minutes. They scored in the opening minute. Wilson plays up and over outside. Out there on the wing trying to get rid of the ball. Good play to do so. But Tennessee comes over and makes a play and will hold them off for now, Mike.
Hold them off for now is right. One thing I would say, if you're Tennessee and you're talking in the locker room, I think they need to put a little bit more defensive pressure at these breakdowns. They are letting Bowling Green have the ball back way too comfortably. So good outside step here from Bowling Green. Just barely dragged down by his jersey, but then good cover defense. Look at all those orange and white jerseys on scene on that far sideline. Just drag the ball carrier out of bounds and turn the ball over. So one thing I would say is Tennessee, they've only given up that one try so far very early on. Bowling Green has looked good. They've had good shape. They've given them the ball pretty easily on offense, but they have held their integrity overall as a defensive line so far has Tennessee.
So we got a volunteer that is down here. On-site trainer out there to help out. That's Nick O'Rafis that'll come off, the flanker, 6'3" and 210, a junior.
So Ben, if you remember last week, Bowling Green was parked in their own end of the field, in that offensive zone, we should say, inside the 50 for the entire first half, and really just couldn't punch a try in. In the entire first half, they scored one, I think, to try to bring it a little bit level. And it took them the entire 40 minutes to really get something going right before halftime. And here they are again. They're enjoying all the possession and really predominantly all the territory so far. But that throw, unfortunately, doesn't go to hand, and so they turn that one over.
Yeah, great point by you. That was the case. And then, you know, you think back to the end of that match last week that you and I had the pleasure to call, and they gave up the try basically on the final play of regulation time, and Louisville forced overtime. So They had to grind it, and another Tennessee player there up top of your screen there, reaching down, holding his right foot or ankle there. So, man, dropping all over the place out there, and that does not look to be good at this point. They'll let the trainer check this out, though.
No, I wanted to go through Phil for the communication, but Phil was okay. There.
See if we can determine what happened here, Mike.
Players that have been injured so far, Ben, a couple of them here. Just, it's a national championship game. You've worked so hard to get to this moment. We've seen two escort it off already. There's a third potentially. So, yeah, you know, you talked about it, Ben. I mean, we've mentioned it before in these shows that it means so much to them and so much that they've put into them, to their teammates, to their families that are there traveling to watch them play. I mean, and something like this is just, it's hard to watch. You can only hope that this is something that passes pretty quickly, but right now it's not looking too good. Here it is. Another look at it in the line out. There he goes up. And he comes down. And he comes down very awkwardly on that leg. So Tennessee, the beneficiary of an overthrow in the line out, but unfortunately maybe losing one of their big locks if Jack Bear is not able to keep playing.
Still down there, as you can see here in the 23rd. The time is off. And this is a situation you hate to see, as you said, Mike, and you just see the emotion on his face right now in this moment. And Ted Nayer has come on to replace Jack Bear. So Nayer, 6'1", 215, a sophomore. You hate to see it, Mike, but as we know, and those watching out there know, it's a risk every time the ball's in play in this sport. It's just part of the sport. Hope he's all right.
You certainly hope he is. All those players that have been helped off the field, hope they're doing okay. But what an opportunity for those that are getting a chance to run on very early in this game with still 60 minutes left to play in regulation. I mean, sometimes if you're on that deep reserve bench and you're wearing 16 through 23 on your back, you're not really thinking about mentally, you're not really thinking, hey, I'm probably not going to get in this game until the second half unless something happens like that. And so when that happens, it's like you got to turn that switch so fast. The role that these impact players play, these substitution players of that deep bench are so critical and so important. And what an opportunity for someone like Ted Nayer right now, a young student athlete at Tennessee. I mean, to just get into a national championship game 22 minutes in and really try to put a stamp on this game.
Tennessee short on the line out. Advantage called by Pierre Constantine for the Volunteers.
No hands! You're not on the ball there.
Closest match they had was a match against LSU, and they scored 30 or 48, gave up 38 in that one. A season high in terms of points they've given up this season. They have been very efficient, very clean and tidy. And here's a penalty on Tennessee, says Constantine.
You're not raising the ball. Number 7, White.
That's an interesting play call there from the University of Tennessee. I mentioned that they were just giving the ball back to Bowling Green way too easily on offense. Look at the body position. Look at the height from Tennessee. There's just no sense of urgency in that situation to help their ball carrier. But that said, they just went through about 5 phases in a row of pick and goes with their forward pack, who had to have been tired by that phase. And so that's the sort of thing I'm just a little bit wondering what they're up to, wondering what they're trying to do there. If they're trying to draw a penalty and then get themselves a line out closer to that Bowling Green try line. But they didn't release the ball from that situation. They just kept it tight, kept it there, and then there was no urgency to get over the top and win the ball back.
So here's Bowling Green, another set piece with their line out on the attacking side of the pitch again. We go back to Mike's point last week. Yeah, they won the match, but they had several opportunities in primetime position on the pitch. Not quite there yet. They're on the good side of it, but they're going to need to cash those in, you would think, against a powerful and a side of Tennessee that can light it up in a hurry. Here come the Falcons. The carry there from John Luke Weiler. Wilson back into the hands of Crabiel. Wilson, that left hand, you can see it's got a pretty good wrap around it. Playing through the injury, whatever that is. And advantage here for Bowling Green again. Ben Young, he's popped and dropped. Tennessee retreats. Still an advantage here for Bowling Green, and there's the whistle from Constantine.
High tackle. You need to hold on tackle here. 3 white, high tackle.
Bowling Green's going to set this one up for a line out. They'll try to pin this one deep. There's Joseph Apol, who's going to step up and try to get a good angle to put this one in the corner, and you can see that grass just go flying over his shoulder. There's some strong wind right in his face. So he's got to really make sure this one gets out.
That's white.
And he misses touch, Ben.
He did. That's the second time that's happened in the match. The penalty that was called on Tennessee on their tight had Aiden O'Connor. Falcons have it back here as we tick up towards 26 minutes gone into this match. Still free, still loose. Owen Slimmer down on and on the deck.
I have no knock on right here. Mikey, Andy, good. No knock on.
Wilson.
Right. That's a knock on there.
And the ball came out. Looks like Bowling Green able to get back in there. But they cannot keep it. They knocked it on, says Constantine.
Another handling error from Bowling Green. You see more bodies just pulling up a little bit sore. But there's that missed touch. That's that missed touch finder. You have to hit those. The strong wind we mentioned is in the face of Bowling Green. Got to angle your hips a little bit more if you're the kicker there. And then here's that chip and chase over the top. Really good option. Almost gets it. Look at all that space in that left-hand corner out there along that sideline. You can see that's what he's aiming for. But again, a little bit of wind in his face. Wasn't quite able to maybe get exactly what he wanted out of it. Almost turned into a big break. But again, Tennessee, they're keeping all those players up on their feet on the defensive line, and it's really paying for them because Bowling Green, they look good, but they're not able to get really through that Tennessee defensive line. Now Tennessee has the ball, though, Ben, and it's worth noting that wind that we're speaking about. They haven't had a lot of possession with the wind at their backs. That's an important aspect of this game. Keep an eye on that when these two teams change halves in the second half, because Tennessee, they've got to get the ball a little bit more. They've got to be a little bit more attacking mindset with the wind at their back.
Yeah, Bo was out, so he's not playing the 9 here.
Yeah, you and I have done enough matches in this stadium over the years in Major League Rugby, and you played in it. Know it all too well. You saw before that restart, Michael McGettigan there, the center, trying to stretch out. Here goes Wilson on the restart now, and Griffin Wilson gets him back inside of the 22-meter. 28th minute here in the national championship, 7 apiece, and Bowling Green giving one away here again inside of the 22.
On the floor.
I love that choice from Wilson here. Look at this quick tap. They just missed touch from a similar spot, so have a go. Look at his footwork into space. Tennessee, though, they finally put some bodies in. Look at this. There it is. They finally put some bodies over the top, but then take a look. They win the space. They make it difficult. But then again, look at all those Tennessee players just watching that ball. Now they start to get involved maybe. Right, there has to be more urgency from Tennessee around that breakdown area. They didn't even need the referee to blow his whistle. That ball was available for them. They worked hard to get the turnover. They've got to get themselves in there and get it back. But overall, I really like that little quick tap there from Griffin Wilson to put his team on the front foot. They just have to get numbers there and support to help them out and keep that possession.
There's that wind again.
Knock on by White on the line out, then a knock on by Brown. Sorry, there.
Another look here, Mike.
Yeah, that wind you mentioned is really wreaking havoc on these line-out throws. I mean, we haven't seen too many that have hit their mark. And you imagine at this point in the season, in the national championship game, it's not for lack of practice together. It's not like they're out of sync. It's not like they're just mistiming it. I think that wind is really just mentally becoming quite a hurdle for the throwers to overcome. And so that one there misses its target, but luckily for Bowling Green, they maintained possession as Tennessee knocked it on at the back end of the lineout.
Each side with 3 lineouts so far in the match. Again, Bowling Green trying to get something done, but they're not going to. Here again, another miscue, and there's the indication in the call from Constantine. Val's got it back.
And that's the first time we've really seen that energy so far from Tennessee. Outside of the try that they scored very early on, this is the kind of jolt that a team needs. Your forward pack gets this big drive. We've seen a lot of Bowling Green going forward at scrum time, but this time, Tennessee, and then look at the enthusiasm from their forward pack. They were moving forward, and now they earned themselves a line out just outside the Bowling Green 22. So a big moment here, Ben, as we near the 30-minute mark of this game. This is Tennessee's one of the first opportunities they've had in this area of the field, and we're all at 30 minutes. They really haven't had any possession here at all, Ben.
Yeah. It's a very similar script, as you touched on a few minutes ago, to last week's semifinal for Bowling Green. They controlled it. They just couldn't cash in and get points. So Tennessee, and you see the turnout from both these schools is impressive down in Houston, Texas. This one tapped back by Tennessee now. Volunteers here in the 31st looking for the go-ahead score here. O'Reilly, Zach O'Reilly's the 9 for Tennessee. Here they come now, some pace. Cutting back inside, that right winger, that's Clay Winnick. Gaining the 22-meter line is Tennessee here.
Drop him. Perfect. Leave it, 7.
Constantine right in there. Fouls keep it alive now. Into the hands there of Zaharis, trying to play that ball back. Zach O'Reilly in there. Bonifacio, the loose head prop. O'Reilly spins free again. Thought about going outside, but instead keeping it was Keller. Mentioned him earlier, 106 points. And a freshman that's played 800 minutes this season.
Step back, bro.
Tennessee trying to get to the 5 and trying to get home here on this passage of play. Still working away. Ball now into the hands of one of those impact guys that came off the bench right there, and it's held up. They could not get it to ground. That was Brendan McMahon with that carry, Mike.
Wow, what a play that time from the Bowling Green defense. But how about this strike rate from Tennessee? Not many opportunities. Whoa, look at that hand. That's Philip Tracy, number 6, and number 10, Jacob Capel, getting underneath of that ball. What a shot from our camera crew. But outstanding work from Bowling Green to get underneath of that, because Tennessee, for the limited opportunity that they've had with possession in this area of the field, they certainly have done a lot with it.
No hands.
Well, and talking to Scott Tungay, the first player he mentioned for Bowling Green that they had to contain was number 6, Tracy. And he scored that try in the opening minute. And as you talked us through there, he made that big play there defensively. But Tennessee, here they come again. They get free of Tracy. Those feet were churning and burning from Zaharis there. As Tracy had the back of his jersey, but he's still able to keep the go forward going. Now the Vols. Aiden O'Connor.
White ball, no, you have it.
Zaharis with another carry on this passage.
Are you good, Wendy, with the position of the Peter here? What's the outside guy?
Fouls about 7 meters away. They're trying to work it outside. Nothing there. Good defense from Bowling Green. O'Reilly. Inside of the 5 is Tennessee. Falcons trying to hold up again. Not there yet. And now it is. They're able to get it home and get it down. They go to work in there. O'Connor and company give Tennessee a 12-7 lead.
And I'll tell you what, Ben, that was a well-earned try from Tennessee, and this is going to go back. Credit to their forward pack, because this goes back to that midfield scrum that they pushed Bowling Green backwards, because the energy that they got out of that moment, you could see the forwards were just jolted. They were energized. They put the ball upfield. They win the line out, and then they go to work. They were stopped short just moments ago by being held up underneath the goalpost, and they get right back into it. They come down and they score again. Like I said, the strike rate from Tennessee is impressive. 3 visits inside of Bowling Green's 22, and all 3 times they crossed over the line once they were held up. But there's the try. It goes to Aiden O'Connor. What an effort from Tennessee. And again, that strike rate from them in that green zone is really, really something.
I need to go through you first, actually, guys. Okay. My on-field decision is try by White. Do you see any problem with 5 White cleaning up the rock there? Okay, so it's try awarded. Perfect. Okay, good. Chris, I'm going to stick to that.
And again, we do have a TMO here for these championship matches here in the NCR Championships, and our crew at Next Level Rugby led by Ryan Ginty. That's great stuff. So that try, as you heard there, is good. So this conversion to put Tennessee up 7 here, Mike, with 5.5 to play in the half.
Try is good. Okay. Try is good.
So the on-field decision of try stands. They may have been just looking a little bit more closely at a dangerous clean-out in that breakdown situation, but as it is, great work by Tennessee.
They were. It sounded like they were looking at just that. Bailey Black was the player they referenced, their number 5, and here's the conversion attempt with that wind, and that kick is able to wrap around that post, and it is good. And Rocky Top, Tennessee on top by 7 here, 14-7 here as we approach 5 minutes to go in the first half.
And again, if you look at the statistics and you've been watching this game so far, Tennessee, their strike rate has just been outstanding. Very limited possession, very limited territory, but man, when they have the ball in hand, they make it count. Bowling Green is just throwing everything they have every single time. They've enjoyed all the possession, they've enjoyed all the territory, and with the wind in their face, they've been doing it, but they have not been able to break that Tennessee defensive line, with the exception of that opening score from Philip Tracy about 90 seconds into the game.
Captain. Captain. Where's the captain? You have the option, scrum or re-kick. Scrum call. Not 10.
So kick did not go 10.
Scrum for
So
white.
Constantine will set us back here, and we'll restart here with a halfway line scrum here. Tyler Doige will talk with head coach Scott Tungay at the end of this first half. We'll see if his side is still on top here with 4 to go in it. And also, College Rugby Show, our on-site show is there. Pat Clifton and company. We'll take you through halftime here as well from Houston, Texas. Ben Holden, Mike Petrie, and Tyler Doige on the broadcast call of the match. An honor to be with you here for the national championships. This one, Mike and I will have Queens and St. Bonaventure coming up a little bit later today from Houston. That should be an absolute banger as well. Bowling Green. Apel was yanked down there. Imperative here, Mike. The Falcons get points. How crucial is it in your mind in the big picture?
No, don't use it.
Yeah, it would be great for them to go into halftime locked even at 14 if they can punch one in before we hit that 40-minute mark. But what I will say is, with the wind in their face, to play the way they did in the first half is something to be proud of, something they can really rally around in halftime. You could see evidence of the wind here. I mean, off that restart, the ball went really only a couple of meters. There's a clearance kick that they're trying. It's not going anywhere. Tennessee, by all accounts, yes, they've done really well, but again, they're going to have to now turn around and play into this wind in the second half. So if you're Bowling Green, you're going to have your tails up for sure, thinking about what you've done into this wind, and now you get to turn the tables and have it at your back in the second half.
Great point by you. As Constantine will reset us here. We're going to lock up here with 2.5 minutes and counting to play in this first half. Tennessee undefeated this season. Bowling Green a 9-win campaign. Grinded one out last week. Couple of minutes into the overtime. It was sudden victory. I'll call it that, Mike. Many call it sudden death. But a sudden victory win for the Falcons. Here they go with a scrum here. It's Wilson for the put-in.
I love that optimistic spin that you put on it, Ben. The sudden victory, I think, sounds so much better. I think all sports across everything should adopt that. I'd really love it. Trademark it.
Yeah.
By Ben Holden. Sudden victory.
I don't know about that, man, but I mean, it was sudden because you remember back to that. It was weren't many phases in that passage that they went down and scored on. So the Falcons here get another penalty that goes against Tennessee with 1.5 minutes remaining in a 7-point deficit for Bowling Green.
If you're Bowling
In
Green
this
here, you just want
position-
to make sure this ball gets off the park, get out of bounds. You don't mind if the clock runs out. Like I said, you're not too disappointed being down by 1 try going into the wind. You really struggled with that wind in your face. I think if anybody should have a sense of urgency right now, it's Tennessee, and they've got to say, fellas, we need that ball in our hands now, and we need to score again before this halftime break, because when we go back around and we have to play into the wind, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, this isn't a sport that's played indoors, right? So the elements can always be a factor. They can always be. They aren't always, but they can always be with the wind, the rain, the snow like we saw last week. We're not in some dome stadium here, man. This is outdoors and the temperature great today, but that wind, as we've discussed, is a factor.
The scrum will be here.
Against the Volunteers, it'll be a scrum down.
Bowling Green, another scrum coming for Wilson and company.
Did you hear me?
You can see both teams here, Ben, I think just looking forward to that halftime break. Neither one of them really showing any sense of urgency to do anything right now. I think both of them just wanting to regroup, regather, get themselves some water, get themselves a meeting with their coach, talk to each other a little bit, and then come back out for the second half as we near that 40-minute mark.
Set! Ready, ready! Ready! Try! Stay there.
In it goes, Wilson at the back. Wilson does not take it. They break free. Good carry. Outstanding work. Guess who it is again? It's Tracy with the ball. The man is a menace, attacking this Tennessee defensive set. Bowling Green in position again here. Wilson bounding off the turf. Shot delivered. The Falcons trying to break free and break away. Good strong carry here. Weiler with the carry there. Wilson works it free. Down to ground. The Falcons, though, did they mishandle this ball in there? It sure looks like they did, Mike.
Another handling error from Bowling Green. So far, they have just been their own worst enemy with some of these breaks that they're getting. They're finding seams in the Tennessee defense, but a couple of times they're just not finding their receiver, and that time just bobbled in contact. But how about that run off the base of that scrum from Philip Tracy, just galloping up that far touchline, just brushing Tennessee defenders off. I mean, he looked like he was just off and gone. So good hustle back from Tennessee, scrambling back. We talked about urgency. That would have been really not a good situation for Tennessee to walk into halftime, just giving up a try. A second one would have been to Philip Tracy. So Bowling Green now, they're going to keep pushing here, though. They've got to have that urgency to try to lock this up before halftime.
Here's the whistle and the call against Bowling Green. And Tennessee said, all right, probably to your point, that wind, they'll take a 7-point lead into the locker room here in the national championship here in the 1AA championship between Tennessee and Bowling Green. Tyler Deutsch down on the pitch with Scott Tungay, the head coach of Tennessee.
Here on the Tennessee sideline with Coach Scott. Coach, that was an absolute brutal first half. It was a tug of war between the two sides. You were able to come out on top going into the half. How are you going to keep that momentum in the second?
Yeah, we knew coming in Bowling Green had a bunch of big athletes, bunch of big boys, and they got loose on us a few times. So that's our big focus on this half is shut down their big boys, shut down their athletes. Try play more in their half, and then see if we can get our closing game has been pretty good. Obviously been held up a few times, but if we can finish those, that's what we're going to try to do in the second half.
And obviously we saw a couple of injuries through some crucial forward positions. Any update about that? How are you going to adjust?
Yeah, Nick Arafis with a head and then Jack Berry with an ankle, so they're both out for the rest of the game. But our boys coming in, Ted and BMAC, they're going to finish the game out for us strong.
Awesome. Best of luck, Coach. Thank you very much. We look forward to it. Back with more Division I AA National Championship final coverage after this. And stick around. We got the College Rugby Show coming up next.
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show Live. We are at halftime here. The Tennessee Volunteers leading Bowling Green 14-7, men's D1 AA National Final. Darian, talk us through some of these highlights from the first half.
Oh, quick answers and quick conversation happening for both the Vols and the Falcons here. And it started off early with Bowling Green. They got to work quickly and they were chomping at the bit. And Philip Tracy, none other than, we talked about him in the Players to Watch, got the first 5 for Bowling Green. From there, the conversion was good, but Tennessee got to work quickly on the fold and were able to connect really well through a counterattack, and Brandon O'Neill gets 5 of their own. Conversion was also good, so we're tie ball game at 7-7. A lot of meat to unpack here within the Vols and the Falcons here. Vulnerabilities around the ruck and really possession have really been what it boiled down to, and from there, the pick and goes worked for Tennessee. They got on top there through a try through O'Connor, and then from there, the conversion was good, so that brings us 14-7.
Absolutely. It's been a great half. Both of these teams have had scoring opportunities, chose to quick tap, not converted on those. They both lost to second row already, and it was tied for most of it. But let's talk about some of these scrums here. Bowling Green going forward, but it's Tennessee that's getting the penalty reward, Zach.
I think that was a key point in that first half. Bowling Green's so dominant, but you look on the stat sheet, and you're going to see Tennessee with the lead in scrums 1. I think they have 5 that have been here, but they really, I think, in my opinion, have lost every single one of them at this point. A little bit unlucky for Bowling Green, almost too dominant. You see it here, that front row just driving so hard, so well, efficiently, but they're not stopping that drive and then settling once they win that first initial contact. And the referee seeing that, they're calling the penalty for either boring, not driving straight. So there's a lot of sensitivity there in that front row pack. You need to get your stuff right there if you want to get not to get the calls there. So Bowling Green got to tighten that up in the second half because they are winning those scrums pretty handily.
Tennessee struggling in the lineouts as well, so it's a trade-off in the set pieces so far. Let's talk. This is the men's D1 AA National Championship. Let's talk men's D1 AA National Player of the Year, right? We're doing these divisional awards for the first time ever. Very exciting. Who is the Heisman Trophy winner going to be in D1 AA? Well, we got a couple of the candidates in this game. Philip Tracy already scored a try. All right, so he's putting out a great resume. So is Nate Rawls, the hooker. You talked about him in the pregame. He's doing well for Tennessee. He's in the middle of that Tennessee scrum that's already won 3 penalties. And then Texas A&M, they lost in the semifinals to the Vols here, but Jace Hernandez, the giant inside center with the foot skills to go. Bliss Archibald, another semifinalist, the fly half there for Louisville, coming off of an injury, but having a great year for them. And then Gage Curry, all right, Kentucky, they won the last 2 national championships. They're not here. Very athletic forward for the Wildcats. What do you like out of these guys here?
So, I mean, we were in the Notre Dame game when Texas A&M came to town early this season for Friday Night Rugby, and I was really looking for Jace Hernandez to kind of make his mark in that game, and I was a little underwhelmed, I think, walking away from that. He didn't really shine through on that big stage there, but that he's really turned it on later in the season here. He's like a multi-tool player. He can kick it if he needs to. He can run you over. He can pass it really well, and that has kind of, taken an upturn here for the later half of the season. He's really come on strong. I like his candidacy.
I've really enjoyed Nate Rawls. I'm excited that they're here, and also Philip Tracy. I mean, to answer with the try right from the jump, really showing why he's a nominee for the Player of the Year. He's got this raw athleticism about it and the passion, I think, to do it. So I'm excited that both of those 2 Players of the Year are on our list and that we get to watch them in real time. Haven't seen a lot from Nate Rawls because I think of possession issues with Tennessee, but I'm hoping that when they go for that halftime conversation, they get the ball to Nate Rawls a little bit more. And Philip Tracy, you don't have to worry about if he's going to get the ball or not.
I wonder, guys, if for Gage Curry, the not usual success for Kentucky might hurt his candidacy this year. I mean, it's probably a regular season award at the end of the day, but not Kentucky not achieving that regular level of success they're used to. They're not here in this championship game because Tennessee is very good. I mean, he's had a pretty good season, playing there, but I wonder if that'll hurt his candidacy going forward.
Well, I think Philip Tracy's definitely put a little bit of an asterisk or a star or a little booster on his candidacy. He scored that great try. Rolling over like 3 or 4 different Vols on the way in, and then the way he worked the crowd, just looking like a gladiator in the arena. I like Philip Tracy a lot. Fantastic. I'll tell you one guy who I think maybe should have been on the list that's in this game, Brandon O'Neill.
Yes.
Right? He quarterbacks this Tennessee Volunteer side. He scored a try. He is trying to will them to victory here, and he gives them a little bit of an extra layer of attack, and I think he's a fantastic player. He's already seen a little bit of skills, but this next 40 is going to be huge for everybody.
Yeah, ball movement is really what it's going to boil down to, I think, between the 2 sides. Working to find shape early earlier, I think both sides have struggled with because their defense, I mean, they're launching and wanting to smash each other, especially at the ruck. I think a lot of their penalties really came from ruck security. Both sides got an equal part in the not releasing penalties. So both conversations, I think, going into it between the two teams of Orange are really going to be the same conversation. Along with the crowd, I mean, a lot of the Bowling Green fans while I was walking over there said, I wish that I would have worn brown today because Tennessee is so loud and their crowd really showed out. But such a good ball game between the two sides.
Quick key to the second half for everybody, all right? Mine is Bowling Green's got to start imposing their size and their will. All right, both these guys lost a lock. Bowling Green lost a 6'5" lock, brought out a 6'6" lock. Not a whole lot of college rugby teams can do that. And even though the scrum didn't go their way that first 40, you straighten up that loose head prop, move forward, and I think you're going to, it's like, body punches start to really take effect in the later rounds in boxing. It's the same thing with the size of Bowling Green. Can Tennessee continue to chop that wood all day? For me, that's the key to the second half, Zach.
Absolutely. I think they both have to just play their games. Bowling Green got here through that physicality. You saw it early. They struck first, but then they kind of got off of that. You talked a little about the fatigue that sets in there, playing all that defense. They just got to remember who they are and how they got here. Same thing with Tennessee. I mean, they are wonderful when they get the ball in the hands, out in the back line. When they can play with fun and when they play with energy. They just got to, have a good time, I would say, just like really play it. You're on the biggest stage here. Just really spin it when you get the chance.
How about you, Dee?
Oh, I'm just excited. I think that the crowd might be the one that switches it up for them. They're really swaying it.
All right, let's go now to Tyler Deutsch with the Bowling Green head coach on the sideline.
Coach, that was an absolutely thrilling first half, a blow-for-blow bout, but you guys came down -7 at the half. What did you tell your guys for the second half?
I just said be confident, be smart, and make sure that we finish everything that we started, and make sure we finish this last 40 minutes.
And we've seen some injuries on both sides. Are any injuries affecting your sideline here?
Yeah, obviously Zach was a big loss, but Harvey's right there to step in. That's it's a 23-man roster, not 15. So,
Coach, we appreciate it. Best of luck in the second half, guys. Second half of the Division I AA National Championship Final about to be underway. Let's get it going.
All right, Tyler, thanks so much. Good to see you. That flow is looking solid, my man, here in the championship match. Ben Holden, Mike Petrie here to guide you through the second half. One of these two sides, Mike, will be hoisting the championship hardware. Tony Mazzarella there. I do want to say thanks personally to both coaches that spent some time with me on the phone this week. They're both incredible guys. Tony Mazzarella, I'll start with him. Born in Bowling Green, 17th year there. He played rugby there. Scott Tungay came from South Africa, met his wife, came stateside, started working in college rugby after he was he told me, he said, I was bitter about the sport. He wanted to play professionally. It didn't happen for him. He was at Kentucky for a few years, and now he's found a home at Tennessee. And here we go, Mike. What do you make of the half so far? And let's start with Bowling Green. They've got the ball to begin. What do they need to do here in your mind?
I think exactly what Coach Mazzarella said. They just need to finish. They've had lots of territory. They've had lots of possession. They've just had those turnovers. They've spilled the ball in contact. They've thrown offloads that have just missed their target. They've got the wind at their backs now. They've got to get their tails up, and they've got to finish plays. That energy that they brought into that first half from the opening kickoff, they need that for the last 40. They're that wolf at the bottom of the hill. We talked about this. That hungry wolf at the bottom of the hill, beware of it because it is coming after you, and that is Bowling Green in this second half, Ben.
All right, how about on the Tennessee side? What are your thoughts there with them?
Tennessee now, they're going to be going into the win. They're enjoying the luxury of a 7-point lead, but they've been playing a lot of defense so far. Their strike rate's been great. They've capitalized on a lot of those green zone opportunities. They just need to get the ball in their hands a little bit more. You heard that in the halftime show. Some of these players just need the ball a little bit more, and Bowling Green even starting this half with more possession again. So Tennessee's got to find a way, whether they're putting some defensive players into those breakdowns. They've got to make life a little bit more difficult in that area for Bowling Green.
Very good. That is the Hall of Famer, Mike Petrie. Ben Holden with you. Tyler Deutsch down on the pitch. Ryan Ginty and his crew leading the way with the production. Great work from them. We appreciate all they do and our great crew on site, led by Pat Clifton and company. And a great presentation here of the championship matches. Mike.
And there it is right away. Tennessee earning themselves a defensive turnover at midfield. That's exactly what they're looking for. You heard their coach talk about the athleticism of the Bowling Green forward pack and that they want to tire them out. And so maybe what they're doing is in the first half, they're giving them those opportunities, just running them around the field, giving them possession, putting up a defensive wall, forcing them to play a lot of rugby. And now in the second half, they're really going to put some heavy artillery into that defensive breakdown and test them and see what they've got as we get a look at another player, unfortunately, hobbling up a little bit. Ben, we've seen far too many of these today, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is Jake Eichholz, the 6'2", 225 senior. They're number 4, and Tyler chatted with Scott Tungay coming off at halftime. Jack Bear, an ankle. Nick Orafis, a head injury. He said both of them are out. But as you know better than anybody, Mike, it's not just the 15 you start with. You need those finishers, those impact guys to come in and make an impact. Vincent Fall there, you saw the big prop for Bowling Green is in. And you see some of the Falcon faithful. They want to take this championship back to Northeast Ohio.
You pass it to the back, obstruction there.
Here they go. They're not messing around. Here's Tracy. You heard the group at halftime of the College Rugby Show talking about him up for Player of the Year. I mean, I haven't seen some of the other guys, but from what I've seen in 2 weekends of Tracy, this guy is a legit Player of the Year. Bowling Green, big tackle made there by the Vols. Excellent work by them. Now the 9 for Bowling Green. Griffin Wilson working. Moving this ball down the pitch are the Falcons. Advantage here, penalty call from Constantine.
I know, but you can't make the
And 2 penalties against Tennessee that are just going to keep them backpedaling the first. Another quick tap from Philip Tracy. Love his heads-up play that time. Get his team on the front foot. I agree with you, Ben. I have absolutely loved what I've seen of him over the course of these past 2 games. He is quite the presence for Bowling Green. The team clearly rallies around him as you get a good look here at Bowling Green lining up that kick to the corner. That's Joseph Apol, who makes sure of this one. Going to have a much easier half as far as kicking goes with a bit of wind at his back. We saw Bowling Green struggle in that first half going into the wind. And so Bowling Green now, big moment for them. Come out of this half. They scored very early in the first half. They're enjoying some territory just outside of Tennessee's 22 right now. I would like to see them punch this one in and lock this game up, Ben.
We'll see what they can do here with the set piece opportunity. That throw goes deep. They're able to gather it into their hands. Tracy, by the way, was a state champ wrestler. Learned that from Tony Mazzarella. Said, hey, there's a guy in Major League Rugby that's an Eagle now. Corey Daniel is a pretty good wrestler and has made an ascent through pro rugby and internationally. Mike.
And take a look, second defensive turnover and defensive penalty for Tennessee right away. Very early on in that second half, they put some people in, they win it back. And again, they do the same thing, and they're quick tapping. It just tells you how strong that wind is to quick tap from your defensive 22 when you have a lead. That wind has got to be something formidable out there on the field.
And another call here from Constantine. We'll come back and reset and restart here. That high tackle. And that was on Phil Tracy, the high tackle there on him.
Just a hum too high here.
Tennessee undefeated on the season. Here's a look at that one. Pretty easy one to see there, Mike.
Yeah, there's that high tackle. Front row seats for our referee that time, Pierre Constantine. I mean, didn't have to think twice about that one. Put his arm out straight away. And so Tennessee right now moving that ball up around midfield thanks to that clearance kick. And so again, as we see some reserves come on now for Tennessee. So fresh legs up front, a bit more power, a bit more presence for them. But you can see the energy levels for Tennessee on defense just turning it up a notch. You imagine that they would have been just maybe running Bowling Green around in that first half, and now they're really going to put them to the test in that breakdown area and see what they've got.
New player that Mike referenced into the match, number 18, Evan Feebig, product of Moeller High School in Cincinnati, Ohio. For Tennessee. Now the Falcons got it. They pick it up off the floor, and here they come now. 21 points in this match. Bowling Green nearly getting away, but a really good play made by O'Reilly in there to make the tackle. Big hit delivered. The ball, though, is freed up. Played back there. Two centers teaming up there.
Left foot, step back.
Weiler put it into the hands of Slimmer. 12 and 13 there for the Falcons. Now Wilson coming with some pace. Apel plays it out. A little bit closer to that short side of the pitch. Vincent fall to ground. He goes. Crabiel, another carry out of him. He's had a handful in the match.
Andy, can you keep that one?
Good ball, good carry here. It's Owen Slimmer, but a whistle from Constantine, and we're coming back.
Hold it. Phil. Captain, you have two options. I have a penalty over here for not running away, or on the 25 over there for, yeah. Not running away white. And then 5 white.
That's as easy as it gets, Ben. For a captain to make a call. You could have a penalty way back over there. You could have it way closer up here. But I love the heads-up play right now from Griffin Wilson. So here comes this penalty. Take a look. He's just going to reach in and just start touching the Tennessee player. Look, that's what's going to draw the penalty. That's just smart rugby from Griffin Wilson. He made a break earlier. He got his team on the front foot, found the seam around the breakdown, and then there he is. He sees an orange and white jersey and just puts his hands on him as if he's like, I can't get to the ball. I'm looking at the referee, I can't get to the ball. That's what draws a penalty. That is just smart rugby right there from number 9, Griffin Wilson.
Miscue there from Bowling Green, deep inside of Tennessee territory.
Nope.
We're going to scrum here, 5 meters out from the line.
I'll watch it.
And this is just unfortunate from Bowling Green. You take a look, again, those handling errors. We talked about it. We said one of the key things for them coming into this half, they had to hold on to the ball, maintain possession, and finish plays. Their coach said it, Mazzarelli said, we have to finish things. We have to finish this half. We have to finish our plays. And that one there, just another handling error from Bowling Green, unfortunately.
Tennessee will have it here once again.
Thank you. Line out for white. Take one step up this.
And another missed opportunity from Bowling Green. They decide to go straight to that front, but unfortunately, just a little bit too much hot sauce on that throw maybe, and deflects back into that 5-meter channel. But they've got to turn the dial up, keep the pressure on Tennessee here. They've got the wind in their face, make life difficult for them, and there it is. There's that wind peeking its ugly head. That ball is difficult to throw in these conditions. We'll see what option they go with here. Yeah, and they're going to take that scrum option. Love this option from Bowling Green. They struggled a little bit with the line out maybe. They didn't get those last 2 throws. Take the scrum option. You see the energy. This is a big moment for Bowling Green right now.
18 players on this side for Bowling Green that were here last year and came up short in a blowout loss against Kentucky. A shot at redemption here in 2025, and they're knocking on the door here with a scrum.
I need you to respect all the call. Hey, you just arrived. I don't want any comment, okay? Thank you.
Ben, what do you think here? Pick and go from Tracy at the back of the scrum from 5 meters out. Can he be stopped?
I would say that's safe.
They've got to keep it steady. Tennessee has really shown some dominance recently, so this is a big moment for the Falcons. They've got to stay strong, keep that ball secure at the back, and let Philip Tracy have a go. Let's see what they've got.
He's right there between his feet. He keeps it moving. Tracy's there, gathers it in. Volunteers there, and they shove it back a couple of meters. The other flanker, number 7, Crabiel there. He gave it a short little carry.
19, white offside.
Advantage here for Bowling Green. On the doorstep. Can they kick the door open here and get home? Reset for the penalty here from Constantine.
They gave it one. 19 white, you offside. And you have penalty on the scrums too. Captain.
That's Brendan McMahon that was guilty there.
Good? Thank you.
That's the warning I was looking for from our referee, Pierre Constantine. There's just been too many penalties against Tennessee. Bowling Green takes that scrum option again. They were going forward on that last one. It was, if not for Zach O'Reilly, the number 9 for Tennessee, stopping Philip Tracy in his tracks. What a tackle made by the scrum half for Tennessee on Philip Tracy. That's no small task. but he answers the bell for his team. But too many penalties against Tennessee. Pretty soon, you're going to see our referee, Pierre Constantine, reach in for a card because they're just starting to mount right now. The pressure is building. Bowling Green, another big moment for them. Let's see if they do the same. They'll get that drive on forward, see if they can get a good platform. Philip Tracy, keep it steady at the back, and then he decides when he's ready to go.
12 penalties on Tennessee, 11 on Bowling Green, to your point, at this stage of this match. As we approach, and we have now reached the 53rd minute. 14-7 Tennessee. They're up against their own line here. Wilson sent to put in here for Bowling Green. In it goes. Available there. Advantage here for Bowling Green. Still dragging it right there at the line, and it is down. They get it home, and Tracy and company drive in another one, and they're a kick away from leveling this match at 14 here.
And again, the opening 12 minutes have been all Bowling Green, and they finally get some pay dirt. This one, Philip Tracy gets his name on the score sheet again, but this try goes to the tight 5. If you really had to give it here, Ben, that tight 5 pushing forward. Look at the movement from Bowling Green, just pushing orange and white jerseys backwards. I mean, the intensity, the energy. Look at them up front. Look at their fans in the background. They are up for it. Philip Tracy has an easy job of just touching that one down, but just adding to his tally. Philip Tracy, second of the game. And again, much easier kicking time right now for Joseph Apol, who will line this one up with the wind at his back and a pretty good angle at it. But a big kick for him. If he can level the score here, Bowling Green comes out with all the ascendancy in this second half. And man, they need it with that wind at their back.
Thank you, Chris.
Joey Apol was a center until this year. They transitioned him this year into the fullback role, and they had another fullback on their roster last year that decided to go into the military, so they had to make a move, and he did not get this kick. So it stays a 2-point match here, but the Bowling Green Falcons come out here in the 54th minute, and they make it a 2-point match here.
And that could be a crucial miss, Ben. Those 2 points could be a big difference maker in the end. There you see the referee with his hand out again. I'm surprised we didn't see a yellow card coming out of that. I think we may have actually seen a penalty try if Philip Tracy didn't dot that one down. That was the second scrum penalty in a row. So Tennessee's got to start playing their cards right. They're in a little bit of penalty trouble right now with referee Constantine.
They sure are. Pierre Constantine, he's assisted by Mikey Radzinski and Andy Cooper. Big honor for those men to be working the natty, as the kids say. Want to remind you that Gilbert is the official equipment sponsor. The Gilbert Connecticut is the match ball today that these men are playing with. International standards, game tested and built for the biggest moments. Gilbert's the official equipment sponsor of National Collegiate Rugby. So if you want the same gear the pros trust, head over to World Rugby Shop and level up your kit today. Bowling Green back with it, Mike, and here goes Craviel again. Whistle, and we'll get the call on the reset here, Mike.
I need to. Hey, 19. Make sure you go through the mark, please.
But the turnover on the stat sheet, Ben, will go to Philip Tracy again. Just good point of contact. We've seen him on offense do some awesome stuff, and that time just ripping the ball out of contact, getting the turnover, and you can see the captain there saying we're going to go for points here from straight in front. They've got the wind at their back, give themselves the lead. They haven't had it since the opening 90 seconds of the game, really. I should say Tennessee came back and scored a couple moments later, so within that first 5 we had 2 tries, 1 each, and so they've been sort of level and now chasing Tennessee for quite some time. They could really use this in terms of some attitude for them, give them a bit of an edge, and a 1-point lead.
Mikey, you got shorts?
So here's Apol with it on the tee, mentioned on that conversion. First year in this role, from center to fullback. Good strike from downtown, and that one looks to be good, and it is. And Bowling Green now on top again in this match. And a massive kick from that young man right there, the junior.
We're going into the ninth.
I absolutely love what I'm seeing right now, Ben. You would never guess if you just tuned into this game today and you didn't hear any of the pregame shows, you didn't hear anything about who was ranked what, you would never think right now that Tennessee was an undefeated team and the #1 seed coming into it, playing against the #7 in Bowling Green. Bowling Green has, again, they've enjoyed all the possession. They've enjoyed the dominant section of the territory throughout this game. They have 15 points to show for it. If not for a few handling errors, they really could have just padded this scoreline. But again, they look really sharp, and now they've got the wind at their back. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do in the remaining 20 minutes of this game. But Tennessee, they've got to start rallying. They really have to get their act together. They're that #1 seed. They've got the pressure on them. They've got to make something happen.
Good start here in the set piece. In the line out, Volunteers. 14-7 lead at halftime. Bowling Green now on top. Looking Falcons are for their first NCR national championship here. These two sides met back in 2021 before NCR got going. So a massive moment for both these schools too. They're both looking to get their first in NCR play.
So Tennessee runs a little wrapper on the back. Bowling Green has it so well covered, and then just that's number 13. That's Owen Slimmer for Bowling Green, who levels the opposite number without the ball, and so that's the penalty, and that's where Bowling Green needs to be careful. They cannot just gift Tennessee opportunities because, as we've seen, and you mentioned, Ben, Tennessee can turn it on a dime. They can turn the game on a dime. They could turn their ignition on right away, and so opportunities like this, if you're Bowling Green, you don't want to be handing them to Tennessee freely. So you played good defense in that situation. Be very careful about your timing. Don't give away silly penalties. Keep the pressure on Tennessee. Force them to earn the points that they need to score.
Here go the Vols again.
Yeah, that's good.
Oberhofer with the ball.
Step back there.
5'8", 205-pound junior.
The advantage, White.
Tennessee playing advantage here inside of the Bowling Green 22.
That's it there. New advantage, number 8, offside of the right down here.
Evan Holderer offside there. You heard from Pierre Constantine.
Tackle! Stay there, bro. Last foot.
Vols getting set. The ball out of there by O'Reilly. Little flip now, worked outside.
Thank you so much.
Trying to get back in to about 5 meters away. And a good job there by Winnick on the carry for Tennessee. From the Vols, knocking on the door. Inside of the 5, they're right there. Going to take the lead back here. It's available, picked up. Great look at it there. Still at least a meter short. Spun free into a little bit of space. Good job getting in there by Holderer on the tackle for Bowling Green.
Counter-ruck is good.
And you heard Constantine. Counter-ruck is good. The ball picked up, taken out of there by Vincent Fall. So the Falcons do it again here.
He's on his feet. Counter-ruck is good.
Good tough carry here from Ralph Mers.
Release White. The contest is good.
Aldo is made. Penalty for Bowling Green here, Mike.
Not running away.
What a defensive stand that time from Bowling Green. But again, Tennessee showing their capability and why they're that undefeated, higher-ranked team coming into this championship final. I mean, every time they have possession, Ben, they seem to go forward. They get so close to that line. That's twice now. Once they were held up in the second half, and this time they were just, inches away from that white chalk on the try line, and then Bowling Green turns them over. So if you're Tennessee, you're feeling a little bit frustrated by that. But again, they're doing a lot with limited possession, so they're showing why they're talented. They're showing why that they're that top seed, because they can turn games like that so quickly. And that's where if you're Bowling Green, you got to be careful. You can't give them anything for nothing, as we see some replacements come on now for Bowling Green. A lot to be proud of for these guys up front for Bowling Green as they run off the field.
That was Cody Luther, the starting tight head, 6'2" and 295 in Tennessee. Trying to go back to work in the attacking end of the pitch here. 61-minute mark here in the match. Miscue in there. Bailey Black sounds like the guilty one in there for Tennessee.
And the call from our referee was a neck roll against number 5 from Tennessee. That's Bailey Black. Yep. That's dangerous stuff at a breakdown. Referees are going to be looking for that. But how about this kick? It's not going to find touch. They're going for distance. They have to find touch. Bowling Green has missed a few. We gave them the benefit of the doubt in the first half because of the wind, but that time, got to find territory.
Here are the Falcons now. Their leader, Tracy, Player of the Year candidate, showing out here in the Natty. Nearly knocked down. Yep, it was a knock-on, says Constantine, by the Tennessee player there.
Andy, sorry.
And again, just some critical things for Bowling Green that have not gone right, whether it's a mishandle, whether it's a drop pass, whether it's something just a little bit too far in front, or something like that where we get a kick that just misses touch.
Okay, for you, it's a clear one hand, another 2 hands trying to catch the ball. So it's going to penalty. There's nothing. There's no overlap, no numbers here, no yellow card. Just a penalty for intentional knock-on, right? Perfect, thank you.
So Andy Cooper there, the AR, they're talking with Constantine.
Not real attempt to catch the ball here. It's going to be a penalty only for intentional knock-on here. Thank you, Andy.
And that's the right call. Great work by our referee crew that time. You see the call as a one-handed intentional knockdown. Wasn't trying to catch it with 2 hands. Wasn't trying to make an effort to go for it. And so as it is, that's a penalty for Bowling Green. And good job to them. My next comment was going to be they have to hit touch. Here's another look at it. They come down this short side. And there it is, a swinging arm from Tennessee. One hand into the passing lane. That's number 2. Their hooker, Nathan Rawls, just gets his paw in there and knocks it down. And so when you do something like that, it's going to be called an intentional knock-on. And so Bowling Green brings that one down from the line-out, and great work by them, keeping possession. Let's see what they can do with it.
Penalty count 15 for Tennessee in this match, 12 for Bowling Green. Bowling Green with possession, leading by 1, taken away though. Tennessee comes up with a turnover ball. And powering their way down the pitch. What a carry there. With a couple of Falcon defenders on him, and the Volunteers now turning up the heat here. Couple of heavy finishing, punishing runs here. Now the winger, Squirlock. The Maryland product. Zach O'Reilly works it free. To it again is O'Reilly. Looking right, faking, keeping, carrying inside. Double tackle, good pickup though. That ball a little bit tough to handle there for Corbin Alexander, and Bowling Green turns him over again. Right at the edge of the 22, they come up with it, but they might lose it here. No, says Constantine. It's going to be a penalty call here.
Okay. Time is off. Let's take care of that guy.
Falcon player there, looks like a cramping issue.
The time?
To big number 8, Evan Holderer.
16. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That's good. Okay. Is he good? Okay. What else, guys?
So, Ben, we've talked about the handling errors being an issue for Bowling Green. That time, Tennessee, again, though, they just go forward when they have the ball. You see it. They just keep Bowling Green under pressure.
Guys,
and that time, a handling error from Tennessee. We haven't seen too many of them throughout the game. But this one, they turn it over then. So they make a handling error. They would have come back for a knock-on. They would have had to set a scrum, but then they give a penalty away. So that's where you've got to have that mental presence if you're Tennessee. You can't allow that to snowball out of control. You give something up, you drop the ball forward. You know it's a scrum coming to the opposition. You can't then give away a penalty, because otherwise you get stuff like this. It's not necessarily the touch finder I'm sure that Bowling Green wants, but they'll keep possession. They'll get a line out. Don't get much territory out of it, but they'll have a chance to regroup and regather, and you get a look there at one of the leaders on this team, Philip Tracy, 2 tries to his name so far. Clearly been the pulse of what they've been trying to do, both on offense and defense. The more we call his name in this broadcast, Ben, the better it is for Bowling Green fans.
Yep, and I go back to earlier. I mentioned in the first half, Scott Tungay, first guy he mentioned. He said, we got to contain, at least try to contain number 6.
Knock on there.
There's the knock-on call. So Tennessee will get the scrum here after this, Mike.
Unfortunately, a line out that goes over the top again. Bowling Green holds on to it, but again, there's that handling error, and there you see those mental errors that Bowling Green is making have been costing them opportunities. And again, not like they're a missed opportunity for points there, but a missed opportunity to just play upfield and keep possession.
Yep.
And so instead, they drop the ball and they give Tennessee another chance here just outside their 22. And we've seen what Tennessee can do. They really do. They go forward when they have possession and when they have the ball. So Bowling Green's really got to dig in here and play some defense.
Oh, what a battle and a great look at it down at pitch level. And that's a penalty going the way of Bowling Green here in that scrum here in the 66th.
18 white.
Or, Ben, forget that comment about defense. If you could scrum like that and you could put Tennessee under pressure in that aspect of play, you may not need to play defense. The ball's not coming out of there. So dominance is what we've seen so far from Bowling Green as we get a good look at the fullback. That's Apel lining up his kick to touch, and he's got to make sure of it, and he does. That is a fantastic kick from Apel. Here's another look at this fantastic scrum for Bowling Green. Here comes the put. There's the engage. Ball comes in, and then watch this Bowling Green side just go forward. Look at them driving straight, driving square, putting Tennessee under all kinds of pressure. Our referee that time, Pierre Constantine, has no choice but to award the penalty to Bowling Green. Now they've got to get this line out right. They've got to bring it down.
They've won 7. Wilson able to get in there and get his mitts on it in there. Allows the prop to get it back for their captain, their leader, Phil Tracy. Lays that ball back, played out of there by Vincent Fall. Now the Falcons, a little bit of room to operate in the middle of the park. Evan Holderer.
Advantage.
Such a key piece of their side. Advantage for Bowling Green. Into the hands there of Weiler.
It's on the 40.
Wilson. Back for Fall. Wilson again, but call coming here from Constantine.
Number 8 white, you're offside, playing the 9.
Funkhauser was guilty there. Can't
Tennessee, Ben.
Yeah, you can't touch those 9s too early.
Can't touch them too early, and then here we go. Last time they went for points from a similar position to give themselves a lead, and now they make a different call. They're going to go to the corner and try to pad this lead a little bit. It's a bold call from Bowling Green. They find touch. Great kick from Apel. Here's another look at the penalty. So there's the tackle, and there's the ball that comes out. So penalty there for offsides against Tennessee. Tough one against them because that ball did just kind of squeak out the back of that breakdown, but Bowling Green, they've had 2 lineouts in a row so far that have not come to hand. So you see now they're trying to get a call in. Big one for them to grab in and make sure this one comes down. But again, doesn't quite go to the intended receiver, but they maintain possession.
They've won 10. They've lost 2 in that department. Would you have done the same thing, Mike? Say you're out there as the 9 running the show. Would you have been in agreement with what they did instead of taking the points, or do you like this strategy here, going for the 5 instead?
Yeah, I think because let's put it this way, if they hit a 3, right? Let's look at the numbers of this. They hit a 3, they go up to 18. I personally would have taken the points. If you know your kicker can hit it, it's a good kick. They hit the last one, because what that does is it puts the game out of kicking reach. Then Tennessee would have to score to take the lead. But as it is, if Bowling Green doesn't score here, Tennessee can turn around and turn this game around with a 3-point kick.
So here's Bowling Green. They're knocking on the door again. Phil Tracy and company. You see Tracy there at the back, number 6. But it's a turnover here on Bowling Green. They didn't release it.
And that's the danger. That's the danger, Ben. That's the gamble. You don't take those points when they're on offer. Tennessee comes up with a big stop. You don't get any points out of the situation. So credit to Tennessee. Great defense from them. And Bowling Green now might be kicking themselves a little bit for not taking those points when they had them. Because, again, now it's just a game where if Tennessee gets in kicking range, they're into the wind. It's worth noting that they are playing into the wind. So even a penalty that is kickable for Tennessee is going to be difficult. But nonetheless, they're still a three-point kick wins them this game and puts them in the lead at least.
We come up on the final 10 minutes in this match, and you see the reaction there. The hands on the head, though, there of Nico Zaharis. Like, no, we didn't just do that. A costly penalty on the Volunteers.
Let it ride! 18. Come over here, Chris. Let it ride! That's the mark for the hooker, yeah. Come on, man. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to say that was the weak side here. Come on, what's that rule? Come on, let's go.
So here we go, Ben, a put in for Bowling Green. We've seen a lot of Philip Tracy. I'd be surprised if they don't release him off the back, but I'd love them to get a wing run off him here. Let one of the backs get involved. Send Tracy into the midfield instead. They're going to play this one wide, Ben.
And they're going to kick it through, and there's a race for it into the corner. Diving and getting it down. Apel was the one tracking it. He's saying, I got that ball down.
So
and let's look back here.
The line, so on my side, on field decision is try. You good with that? Okay. Try is good.
What a play, Mike Petrie, from a young man that we've talked about. A center a year ago, now the fullback, and that was oh so close. And there is a coach's challenge coming, I'm being told, from Scott Tungay. So we will get multiple looks here, obviously, as they'll go back and look. But the call on the field, Mike Petrie, was a try.
And what an option from Bowling Green. Everybody in the stadium thought Philip Tracy was coming. There's a look at it. Ooh, that is close. That looks like it might be on that white line. It is really hard to tell.
Yep.
That angle there. That angle there looks like it might have just hit that sideline. But what an option. We talked about those big end goals. Like I said, everybody in the stadium, I think, was expecting Philip Tracy to break off the back of that scrum. They had done it time and time again throughout the game. And instead, you go out the back, you get a look at our TMO booth as they get some looks at it on those tablets. They put the ball on behind. I love the option. And then, oh, man. And it's worth noting, Ben, what a kick from number 12, John Luke Weiler, seeing that space in behind, then the chase from number 15, Joseph Apel. I'm just glad I'm not in charge, Ben, because that is very close. From that angle, you definitely cannot tell your on-field call would stand, but that other angle, it looks awfully close to that sideline.
Yep, I'm with you on that, partner.
So, Ben, what they would need here as they look at this is indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field.
That is correct.
And from this angle, like I said, that looks like it's down. You can't tell. That sideline's in the background. You cannot tell from this angle. From that angle, that call would stand as it is as a try. It's that back angle that if they're zooming in and they're really looking at it, that's the one you want to be looking at if you're the referee. The body's in the way. You're not seeing too much out of that angle either. Let's hear what they have to say.
Let's get the verdict here.
Thank you. Captain, both captains, please. Okay. Okay. So the grounding is good, but it's on the line, so it's a dead ball. So it's going to be, if there's no advantage here, it's going to be an option of scrum where the kick was made or 22-meter kick. Try is not good, it's on the dead ball line. 22? Okay. Hold.
So there's the verdict, Mike, as
Thank you, Mikey, for that.
we suspected, and a magnificent challenge from that man there, Scott Tungay,
the option 22
keeping his team down just a point here, late stages of national championship.
22, behind the kicker, Brandon Fizz.
And that was that angle from behind. Great work by our camera crew to help out our TMO and our referee crew. They were probably seeing exactly what we're seeing. And again, indisputable evidence is what was needed to be seen. And from that angle, you could see that ball, I said, that was skirting with that sideline, and it was clearly right on it according to our TMO. So overturned we are, and here we go. Bowling Green still with possession.
Yep, John Luke Weiler, their number 12, their center. Good carry out of him. Krabiel. Big part of their side as well is Colton Krabiel. Medina High School product in the great state of Ohio. What a great rugby culture and following they've got. Down low on the near the deck there for Apol. Coming up on 8 minutes to go here in a 1-point lead for Bowling Green with possession here. Owen Slimmer.
He's in tunnel.
Wilson looked right, looked left, and Tennessee comes up with it there. Big hit there they made on the 9 for Bowling Green. Wilson to force the turnover. So the Volunteers got it back here. Final 8 minutes to go. Good look off there. Good carry offload coming. Support there. Big carry and hit there on Nathan Rawls. He's got 8 tries this season. Penalty on Bowling Green. Yep.
Corner lock is good, but you're playing ball in the rock there. Hands to the rock.
Hands in the rock was the call.
Wow, Ben, I mean, what a turn of events. We get Bowling Green knocking on the door. Tennessee, like we said, we talked about, they had to put some players in on defense and put pressure on the breakdown, and they do. They turn them over. They make a big break. A huge hit from Apol out in the backfield for Bowling Green, and then they do such a good job of counterattacking, and then they just stick their hands into the ruck and give a penalty away to Tennessee. That's exactly what you don't want to do if you're Bowling Green, because now your back is up against your try line in a span of 60 seconds. And Ben, it's worth noting, remember last week, they gave up that late try to Louisville in like the, what was it, the 80th minute to send it to overtime. Right now, they don't have a luxury of having too much of a lead. They're only up by 1. So Tennessee here, we've seen them go forward a lot with ball in hand. In the 73rd minute with limited possession and limited territory, if Tennessee can punch this one in, that would be big.
You got to figure that Tennessee, just their DNA, they want to score tries. They'll take the opportunity if it's close, but you got to figure they're going to try to hammer this thing in for the try.
White ball, space, left foot, go.
That would, of course, force Bowling Green to have to get a try themselves, Mike.
Bowling Green's got to dig their cleats in, and they've got to keep their discipline. They've just got to be really careful here. Don't give away any penalties. Force Tennessee to just fight to earn every inch of grass from here to the try line.
They're close. Advantage, says Pierre Constantine. They'll use it. Great look at where they're at in relation to the line. Spun free into the middle. Big bruising run there near the line. Ball came out. What do we got, though? I think we got a penalty here. We're going to come back. It's against Bowling Green.
Phil, same thing for you here.
And again, I just said it. I just said discipline was going to be key for Bowling Green. And what do? They give away a penalty. No sooner had I finished my sentence in Tennessee. Here we go, Ben. Just about 6 minutes, 5 minutes on this clock. And Tennessee's quick tapping 5 meters out from the goal line.
Call was against Harvey Harris of Bowling Green. At the back, O'Reilly frees it. Falcons, we've seen them the last 2 weeks. When they got to flex the muscle up against their own line, they've been batting a good percentage. But everything on the line here in the final 5 minutes here of the national championship. Falcons trying to hold up. 4 meters away. Another meter picked up there. It's available, picked up. Still available. There's that post. They don't use it. Constantine gets in there. And Constantine says it's held up. And the Falcons come up with a stop.
Wow. Ben, wow. Again, Tennessee goes forward the second time in the game. They get held up once in the first half, another here in almost the 76th minute. What an effort from Bowling Green. I was just about to say Bowling Green has to get lower in these collisions. They were way too high. They have to get lower. They have to get themselves way down on the ground. But instead, they get underneath of this one. They get their hands underneath. They held it up. Wow, what an effort from Bowling Green. And they restart this one. Sails out of bounds. Line out for Bowling Green. And what a turn now. Bowling Green's got to keep this possession and clear their lines. They just need to breathe, take their time, and execute right now, Ben, if you're the Bowling Green Falcons.
Numbers ready to go. 5, 5, 5.
Miscue there, Mike. That left foot on that take.
Mike, you take short.
Right there on the line. Now the Falcons, it's knocked away by Tennessee. They got it back again. Here's Rawls. Dangerous weapon all year for them.
Okay, no hands, no hands.
Back inside of the 22 here. 3.5 minutes to go in a 1-point match here in the championship.
Thank you, thank you.
Trying to crisscross there. Tennessee able to pick up 3-4 meters on the carry.
Stay back. You there. No more. Make sure you rob the player. Make sure you rob it.
Volunteers, no points here in the second half. But looking for the go-ahead points here with now just 3 minutes remaining.
Make sure you rob. Thank you. You can push it back. Last foot there. Last foot.
What a battle this has been. A 1-point match.
Use it, White.
Trying to grind them down are the Volunteers.
No hands.
Bowling Green down low. They got him 5 meters away. Now 4.
7 Brown.
Tennessee playing advantage. Call against Crabiel. A little bit
No
of
hands, no hands.
push there on that carry. Still.
Okay, step back. On the line, Brown.
You heard Constantine. Short. Another effort. Still short. Coming back again here, it looks like.
Time is off. Phil in number 7, please.
Time is off and a little conversation here for Crabiel.
You're on the floor, disturbing the player to pick and go. You're offside here. It's a yellow card. Yep.
Wow.
I know. And he's playing there. It's your role. You have to make it for. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
First card in the match, Mike Petrie.
Tell me when you're good.
Wow. And you can see Tennessee asking for 3 points. They're saying, let us kick. We win this game. Let us kick a goal. We have been fighting so hard, but they're going to tap again. They're going to tap this one, Ben.
Here they go. Got a shot. They get it home. Right out of the tap and go, and it's Funkhauser bringing the funk late in the match for Tennessee. And the Volunteers take advantage. 19-15 with a kick coming with less than 2 minutes to go in the national championship.
Don't worry.
Wow. Dan, I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless.
Thank you.
Bowling Green threw everything they had at this game. It's not over yet. It's worth noting it's not over yet, but man, what a finish from Tennessee. Look at the crowd in the background. Look at the energy. They are excited. That yellow card for Bowling Green, I think, just took the wind out of their sails. And Tennessee just takes the lead. And again, Ben, what we called that game last week at Bowling Green gave up a score in the 80th minute. And here they are again, just about that same mark, and they find themselves down by 6.
And that man right there, who prepped at Gonzaga College in the Washington, D.C. area in high school, his 10th try of the season. And without question, the biggest one he scored in his college career. Will it hold up here? We're inside of the final minute here. 21-15. That kick was good. And Tennessee up by 6. Bowling Green down a man. They're getting a penalty here are the Volunteers.
Stay on your feet. You die there. Number 6, Brown, losing his feet on the corner rock. Sir, is that correct? It's accurate.
The call there on Phil Tracy. Leaving his feet, you heard Pierre Constantine. Tennessee trying to work this time down.
Make sure you wrap on the tackle, Brown, please. White ball there. Mikey. Okay. You used it.
We are coming up, and we have now hit full time in this match. There's the ball to the back. There's the kick. And Constantine calls it. The Tennessee Volunteers atop the mountaintop. Rocky Top, Tennessee, national champions in 2025. cap off a perfect season. No losses. 1AA national champions. Scott Tungay and his staff and his players and their fans are indeed atop that mountaintop as they win this championship match 21-15, Mike Petrie.
Wow, Ben, congratulations and credit to the University of Tennessee. There they are with their hardware. They're going to be so up for this one. I'll tell you what, Ben, to do it the way they did in this championship final, to have less possession, less territory, twice held up at the goal line, and to still walk away with this win in the 79th minute, that is class. That is absolute class from the University of Tennessee. So much to be proud of. And Bowling Green, let's be honest, Ben, you couldn't help but cheer for them. Runners-up last year. They fought valiantly in the semifinal that we watched into overtime, fought valiantly all game here. But again, time and time again, they just couldn't finish their plays, couldn't capitalize, and ultimately Tennessee just outclasses them. But congratulations to both of these schools.
What a day for the Tennessee Volunteers atop the mountaintop. Let's get down to Tyler. He's down on the pitch with Brendan O'Neill.
I'm here with team captain Brendan O'Neill. What an absolutely grueling back and forth match, nonstop action. How did it feel out there?
Tiring. I mean, Bowling Green, give all credit to them. They're a great squad. They definitely caught us off guard at first, but glad of the boys to be able to reel it back in and, take some pride and sneak one out at the end.
You guys had so many fans in the stand. You have remained undefeated, and now you have a national title to add to the repertoire. What makes this team different than every other Tennessee team?
Oh, man, this team's special. From the moment we stepped off the field last fall to the moment we stepped on the field in August 15th, it's just been something special. We knew we had a team. We knew we had something. It's just been a complete honor to play under the coaching staff, to play with the teammates. It's been something special for sure.
Well, thanks to your leadership and your performance, you have won the National Collegiate Rugby MVP for the D1AA National Championship.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, guys. Tennessee National Champions, Division I AA. Ben?
Thanks so much, Tyler. A season ago, Tennessee was 4-3-1. This season, Scott Tungay and the Tennessee Volunteers cap off a national championship season undefeated as they defeat Bowling Green here in the 1AA National Championship by 6, 21-15. Quick break, and then we'll have Pat Clifton and company will join us on site in Houston for the post-game portion of the broadcast in the College Rugby Show.
Consistency on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to the College Rugby Show live here in Houston. Men's national champions back in an epic instant classic over Bowling Green. Darian, talk us through this game we just watched.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat there for the last bit, right? Bowling Green started out 15-14, and then after that, we saw a penalty kick and an almost try. We had a coach's challenge by Coach Scott, which was crazy. It got the try taken away, and then from there was just all Tennessee. They got a last-minute try and the conversion, and then from there, I just don't think that Bowling Green, there was not enough time. About a minute left, and Bowling Green couldn't make it back.
Also, the full range of emotions from Darian.
Oh,
about 3 minutes to go, she's over here looking like she is having colitis, and then 2 minutes later, she's jumping up and down singing Rocky Top.
Yeah, I mean, a crazy, like, take a look here at the start of the game here again. You know, both teams, it was a back-and-forth battle. It was unbelievable. Bowling Green struck first. They made this a way closer game than I thought. Philip Tracy, look at him go. Player of the Year candidate there, dotted down with authority. Brendan O'Neill responding for the Volunteers. We saw that earlier as well. Both teams limited the scoring after that. Was hard to come by for a while. Physical contest. You saw the second half that Bowling Green kind of turned those scrums around, and that physicality really was working in their favor. Okay, so that gave them a boost. But I'm talking later in the game, some questionable game management, Pat, I think, on both teams here, especially that Bowling Green lineout for me. I mean, like crazy, like the lineout of your season depends on. You throw it to somebody.
This is the play of the game right here, right? Okay, Bowling Green, they're already up by 1. They get a score. Joe Apel thinks he's got it. Coach's challenge, red flag only here in Houston in National Collegiate Rugby. It gets overturned, and that's the story of this thing, isn't it?
It's crazy, yeah. We've seen that work a lot in Women's Weekend and this weekend as well. It's actually been a pretty good asset, I think, for teams to be able to review a call like that, and it's where they've overturned some of these and games swinging on that. It's pretty impressive.
It's we're going to talk to Coach here in just a couple of seconds about some of these late game decisions, but 2 kickable penalties right near the post. They said, screw it, we're banking on our forwards. We're going to bet on them one more time, and they crashed over and got the game-winning score. Everything you could ask for in a final.
Yeah, I mean, the forwards did that there for the last bit. They were the one who put in the work, and, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I don't know. That was some really exciting stuff.
All right, let's bring in Coach Scott Tungy here. Congratulations, Coach. And then we got Roman Funkhauser coming in as well. Yay! Congrats, guys. Step on in. Get in tight. Get in tight. There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to just go straight to it. Coach's challenge. All right, look, this is brand new. You didn't have those growing up in South Africa. Tell us about the decision-making process there.
I just knew if we didn't do something in that corner. I mean, our boys have been in this place before, and they've dug themselves out. But if you've got that little flag, you throw it. So.
And it worked out in your favor. I mean,
very
what's going through your head as you think that they score that try?
Well, it was a little – I was confused on if it was actually in or not. We saw him kind of slide out of bounds. So me and the 10, Brendan O'Neill, kind of looked at each other and we're like, we got to throw it. And Zach O'Reilly, our 9, is staring at coach and like, throw it, throw it, throw it. I mean, we weren't too sure if it was a try or not, so we just wanted to double down and give it a double check, and it thankfully worked in our favor.
We're also going to take a look at your score here.
Yeah, and 80 minutes you played from start to finish there. Walk us through the range of emotions all the way to the point where you scored the try that mattered in that last bit.
I mean, starting off, they punched us in the mouth pretty hard, and that kind of got us on our back foot, and we decided that we needed to kind of get up and punch back, and that's kind of been our motto our whole season is once you get knocked down and stand back up and throw another punch. So that's what we did, and then it became a dogfight the entire rest of the way. And kind of going down to those last 10 minutes, we're like, we need something to happen. So we're looking for, our go-to plays and everything like that, and thankfully we were able to execute them well. And then we get down to the that 5-meter line, and it's just kind of a grit thing there, and that's what we've been working on all season with our
I sent the tee on, and they sent it off.
I know, we saw that because we were just talking about
my next question. I'm like, I can't imagine Rassie Rasmussen sitting at home saying, yeah, run it at him again. I mean, tell me about that. Twice you had kickable penalties. You boys wanted it yourselves.
I think we just trusted our forward pack. It's been we worked really hard doing those pick and goes and running those short pod balls, and we knew that we had the facilities to kind of do that. So we were ready to kind of punch it down their throat no matter who it was, and it just happened to be me today.
Yeah. I know you guys have won a seasonal championship before, but this is the first one in Tennessee's history where everybody's been together. You go through the playoffs, you win one. What does it mean for everybody back home in Knoxville and everybody on those sidelines over there?
It's amazing. This has been an incredible season. For me, I came in when Coach first started, so I was kind of his first all the way through his program all 4 years, and a lot of those guys are the same way. And we've just really bought into this program and what Coach Scott has to offer, and it's just really special to finally get one under him and fully under him with all of our guys together. And I mean, an undefeated season is something pretty special.
Coach, what's it mean to you now to work that hard with your starting class, and now you've got a national championship to Tennessee's name?
Yeah, I love these boys, and I'm just in the last 10 minutes it was hard, like we didn't know how, something's going to happen, and the boys did it, and I'm just so proud of them and what they built this year,
So we'll be talking about this win for ages, boys. Congratulations, an incredible victory. The Tennessee Volunteers, D1AA national champions, just like Darian Lovelace knew the whole time. She knew the whole time. Congratulations, fellas. Thank you very much.
Great job.
Well, guys, that's it for the D1AA national championship game here at College Rugby Show Live. We're going to come right back with the Lone Star Bowl, Texas Tech, Fairfield, here in a few minutes.